But now we are on stage, and the music is very loud, but this is the Missing Links post-game live stream podcast thing. I have broken the cardinal rule of the Missing Links post-game podcast live stream, and we are doing this 2 minutes early, which, it just shatters my only nerd show up on time vibe. But I'm Andrew Dukowitz of Zone Coverage. That's Terry Horstman, who gets to sit next to me for 3 hours every game. And Lynx lose 2-2. I guess we'll just start off the top. I mean, 86-79, Sky win.
What happens?
I guess just what was your big takeaway from this game?
Well, first of all, I need like a phone book on this this angle. I'm really not this short, but
I'm closer, so
Andrew's
I can scoot back because I'm not.
We've got all kinds of special effects on the same screen. Look, this is fun. It's always great to do things in person.
It is
with people. I think the main takeaway, and Coach just talked about it in the post game. Chicago played a hell of a defensive game, and I think mainly whether the focus was to take Olivia Miles out of the game or not, they kind of did. I think just props to JC Sheldon and Natasha Cloud, who are elite defensive players, and I don't know how much there is to just figure out here. Like, I don't think this is a threat level midnight situation, but they clearly dictated tempo on the defensive end of the floor, had the Lynx in fits. The Lynx just could not get comfortable, and that was obvious, and they couldn't really play through those tough times as well as they have in the past 2 games.
Yeah, let's keep it with Olivia, because 3 turnovers, that's, I believe, a career high for her.
Sure. And also not like terrible either.
No.
Right.
3 turnovers is fine. I mean, Caitlin does that in a half sometimes. So I'm going to be
sometimes a quarter.
Sometimes a quarter. There
sometimes
has been
possession.
10 turnover games by Cece. But again, like I put up a clip, K-Mac talking about Liv maybe being on the scout for the first time, and Chicago adjusting their defense to kind of take away what Liv does. Asked Cheryl about it. She gave a more, no, this is just what Chicago does. They're a really good defense, regardless of what it was. Like, this was probably the first game where it didn't look like Liv was not like in control of it, because she looked like she was like fine control wise, but she didn't look superhuman.
Right. Didn't look like, oh, we can appoint this player as an all-star point guard, God level player immediately. She looked a little more frustrated. Still ended up on the positive side of the plus minus, which I find hard to believe. But there it is right there in the numbers, and they don't lie. I think, and Coach mentioned it after the game, like, this will be good for Olivia Miles. I think, this is a type of war battle of a game, whatever an appropriate aggressive term you want to use for that phrase. Really, really tough defensive assignment. Just it seemed like she was getting hounded by JC and Tosh Cloud constantly. But those are the type of games that make you a better player. And maybe we'll be able to look back on this game, weeks and months from now as kind of one of those page turning moments. Miles herself keeps talking about different welcome to the WNBA moments. Chatting with her post game, she talked about like AT going back and forth with her in Phoenix and talking a little smack to her, which that's a good one. But I think, just credit to Tyler Marsh. Like, that was a really, really well played game defensively for Chicago, and they are doing it without a lot of their guns as well. And also just thoughts and vibes to Rakia Jackson.
Yeah.
Just going down with a non-contact knee injury. Sorry if it looks like I'm texting. I'm trying to confirm, and I cannot at the moment, but we kind of all expect the worst here.
The video I saw, it looked, it just kind of looked like what we saw from Emma when she tore her knee up. Was just non-contact, falls in a heap, needs assistance leaving the floor. Like, it's another thing where like her body's just kind of moving weird. Like, it just stinks.
Right.
Like, injuries just stink. And for Chicago team that inhales is missing Courtney Vandersloot, Azura Stevens, Skylar Diggins, and Dejanay Carrington. Now losing Rakia is just brutal.
Right.
I mean, you mentioned Liv's plus minus real quick. Liv played 34 minutes, 34 seconds. So in the 5.5 minutes she wasn't on the court, they were outscored by 8, which is just, to me, that was kind of the story of the game. It was just like, this bench is, it's just not there. Which when Emma was here, I think people felt pretty good. Like, hey,
it wasn't quite there.
Right. Like, hey,
at least another.
This is competent.
There's at least another name.
But now it's, I mean, Aliska looked like she was kind of over her skis for the 2 minutes she played. Tony, another kind of bad game. Hoff did not have a good game.
Not to mention, or just keep mentioning plus minus, which is a stat that Coach Reeve doesn't put a lot of stock into either. But it is just kind of amusing that Aliska is a +3 in those 2 minutes.
Someone hit a 3.
Yeah, so like that's a 3 trillion for Aliska Hamzova. On the moment too, and I think people are probably talking about this. Right after Rakia goes down was when Natasha Cloud got teed up, and we were fairly close to where that happened. I don't know exactly what it is. I absolutely heard her yell, "Should have been teed up." So she wanted a tee for someone on the Lynx. I'm not sure who or whom, but did the thing where it's like, you yell about the other team should have got a tech loud enough, you will soon get a tech. Kamak hits it, Lynx go up 31-27, and then the rest of it was kind of Chicago's game.
Yeah, which again, like, how much of this will matter when Dorka and Fee are back? I think when those two are back, the bench looks a heck of a lot better, even without Emma. Right. So it's just kind of like, how do they patchwork this together?
Yeah, if you're bringing Nia and Natasha off the bench,
which realistically, that's what it'll be.
Right, and that's what it was for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a tough one. I know people are probably annoyed with this and wanting to do the electric slide. I'm right there with you. We are not allowed to do that in the press area, but we are always mentally doing it. Because anytime someone else is doing the electric slide, it's kind of just in your brain and you're doing it with them.
Yep.
So yeah,
I do want to get your thoughts just on, like, this team's defense at least seems locked in, which is, Cheryl teams are always kind of built on defense, right? Like, that's probably not a shocker outside of the foul, which I mean, you informed me there was 743 fouls in the Sparks game today.
About that. Yeah.
So
in the first quarter.
Some of this is just like, throw your hands up in the air. Like, they get 21 fouls today. Again, like, I don't really understand what a foul is at this point in the WNBA, but like, it is surprising to me that when you have Courtney Williams, you have Kayla McBride, like, you have Olivia Miles, Tasha's no slouch, that the offense has been as herky-jerky as it has.
And I think herky-jerky is probably the professional technical term for it, because I had, like, playing in mud, felt sluggish. It was just a game that, the continuity didn't really turn up at any point. And teams are going to try to do that to the Lynx. And especially right now, knowing how thin they are, if you're like, okay, if I can throw all of this into just making the starters feel a little more clustered, then we'll get to those bench minutes. And your eyes are probably lighting up a little bit. No shade on any of those players. A lot of them, like Coach mentioned after the game, are playing in the W for the first time.
I mean,
so it's a tough spot that they're in.
It's a super tough spot. I'm stammering through it because I just looked down and saw that Kayla McBride played 39 minutes and 56 seconds. Yes. I mean, that's kind of where they're at, where they are needing these players to play pretty much constantly. Cheryl? Bettina Cheryl asks, is there a chance we see Fee on the court by the end of this month? I would say no. Timeline is she'll resume basketball activities in June. I think not being in a boot has been encouraging.
Not being in a boot and actually getting layups up on the floor, which we saw today for a little bit. And, the term will be cleared for basketball activities on this time has always been funny to me because like technically what we're doing right now is basketball
This is
activities,
a basketball,
and we
are actively talking about basketball.
I'm not using either of my ankles right now. So is Fee doing, you know, layups on the floor after shoot around basketball activities? I don't know. Does that mean she's 2 weeks ahead of schedule? No, it does not mean that. Do not quote us on that. But Fee told us on media day she's ahead of schedule.
Yep.
Looks good. Says she's feeling good, and that's all we have to go off of. So end of the month, probably not.
Yeah, I would say it's
soon after.
It's looking like early July or early June versus like late June, early July. Like it again, just seeing like, I know the staffs don't overlap, but like seeing how like Ant has come back from injuries and seeing how people have come back from injuries last year. Like usually once you see them start doing stuff, that is true. Mayo Clinic does.
Shout out, man.
Usually once you see people start to like actually do stuff with trainers, there's a couple weeks away still. Dorka, as Dustin mentions, great to see her out of the boot. Like that's also another encouraging sign because it was a foot sprain, not an ankle sprain, which the boots you don't really need if your foot's feeling better. So hopefully that's a sign that she's coming back sooner rather than later. Kevin asks if the bench isn't performing, what could they do? Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. Who could they replace Emma with? Forgot the rules are. We don't know what the rules are. There still isn't a formal CBA.
Yeah. For those of you who are getting mad at your local media members for not knowing the total fine print of the CBA, it's because we haven't gotten it yet. It's still being worked on apparently. Though I won't dox him, but we did have a staff member graduate law school over at the 9 today, so we might have an official attorney on retainer who can get to the bottom of this.
I mean, hey,
for that.
So what are the hypothetical rules, Terry?
Hypothetically, Emma Chikova is not going to play for the rest of this season.
Right.
There's got to be, some way to suspend her contract to open up a roster spot. Like if that's something that you could do in the past, right? And like either get a hardship player in or sign someone to a full-time contract. They're probably eligible for a hardship roster spot now. It's just about making the cap work. There's about 20,000 to play with there, and that is depending on what you can do with what was supposed to be against the cap for Emma for the rest of the season.
And Emma is due 270,000.
Right.
So you would have less than a vet minimum, but a little bit more than an undrafted free agent minimum.
So we don't totally know what they can do with that. It's not one of the guaranteed contracts. So there probably is some flexibility there for them to work with. The name that comes up is another Emma, and until they say there's no way this is going to happen, this is going to be what people think of, and that's Emma Meesman because she is one available
and tall.
And
I have been told she's tall.
I can confirm. And almost signed with this team last year and signed with New York instead, and it didn't go great. But I
believe the quote was she made the wrong choice.
She did make the wrong choice. And I can't imagine that being explosive enough of a quote to deter someone from coming here. That's just a little snark. And what's life without a little bit of that? And I would just think, like, you've played in the W before, you should probably do it again with how much more money everyone's making.
Yeah.
It's just not appealing enough argument.
And even
really hold water anymore. Emma doesn't need it, but if she wanted to win another championship in the W, come on over.
Like there has to be some cap tomfoolery that like you can do. Like every cap is not really like
the cap is.
It doesn't actually exist. Like Vikings fans see Rob Bertzinski do it every year, but like the W does have a hard cap. But like there probably is something weird that they can do to get Emma in on a minimum. I think that the issue would be is like who is going to give Emma 800,000
Sure.
And then is Emma willing to leave
Not
$500,000 to come to the Lynx?
But does anyone have the cap space to give her 800,000 that
Probably.
she would also want to play for?
Probably not,
Who knows?
realistically. Because also, like, I would assume, based off of how free agents is signed, that there is some sort of rule where you have to spend a certain amount of the cap. Can't confirm that, but most people have spent like 90% of their salary, which, you know, if you're spending 90% of $7 million, you probably don't have 800,000 to throw towards Emma Meesman.
Right.
I mean, again, there's things that they'd be able to do if that's the case. It's just, if they don't do that, like, I'm sorry, Lynx fans, but it's probably like an undrafted or another foreign player that hasn't played over here before. I mean, Poffenberger. Why
would you apologize to Lynx fans? That would make their day.
I mean, it would make their day, but like, I think, you know, there's always the expectation of like, what's the splash that they're going to do to shore up the bench. I think it's more likely that there's a trade, which Jeremy brings up. He knows they're going to make a trade at the deadline. Like, that's probably the more likely thing, is that
I haven't read all these comments, but I'm just seeing Kiki Iriafen out there. And I love playing fantasy basketball too, everybody, but I don't expect Kiki Iriafen to be on the trading block anytime. But you never know. Also, you never know. Washington fired their GM right before the season started, so who knows who's calling the shots over there? So yeah, call the Mystics. I'm not really using Lauren Betts that much right now.
I mean, Lauren Betts would she is tall. I've seen her in person. She is tall. I can confirm that one.
Podcast is about. Confirming that 6'7" players are in fact tall.
You know what else we can confirm, though? That we do need to run some ads. So ad break. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read. This time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. If people have comments or questions, by all means, just start throwing them in the chat. We'll rifle through them here. But in the meantime, kind of another one of those, like the conundrum of Natasha Howard type of games, where 1 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 turnovers. Offense did not look good without her on the floor, but also like 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and like the offense did look good with her on the floor. I mean, in a perfect world, again, when everyone is healthy, you're probably not having Natasha Howard as your starting center. But in the meantime, it is just like such, the things she does well are really loud, like making layups. Yeah. And the things she does bad, like turnovers and breaking free throws, are also really loud.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you made of her, I guess, first 4 games back with the Lynx?
Yeah, I mean, mostly good, especially in the 2 wins. The pick and roll with her and Miles is, God, I can't believe I'm going to do this. Miles ahead of where it should be for rookie and of that, you know, playing together for the first. You know, she had her hands full with Cardoso and Elizabeth Williams, with those really, really good post players tonight. So I think it was a game that you kind of needed her, and you got, you know, the free throws at the end were tough. They were, but I don't know that fully changes everything. But yeah, you can't have her play all 40 minutes because it's not the Commissioner's Cup against the Lynx. And yeah, I think even if it was a loss, if the Hoff minutes just looked better, people probably feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Where we're standing right now. But yeah, I think Tosh is a willing passer. I think the ball movement with her on the floor is, always, pretty good, even if she's not the one that's, dropping a dime. I was intrigued with, we didn't see this lineup for very long, but it was either Court or Miles with K-Mac, Maya Caldwell, and Tony. With Tosh in there. So a little bit smaller of a lineup, which I don't know. I can't remember exactly who the Sky had in there, and that's probably not a lineup you can play a ton of minutes against a team like the Sky. But I'd be interested to see what it looks like if they go smaller. It felt like the ball was a little less sticky at times with those five out there. But yeah, I'd say this was more of a solid game from Natasha Howard. Last game was phenomenal. and the Phoenix game was really good too. So if that's your 4-game sample size, I think you're probably looking at that the teacher in me has to give out a grade, so a B+ or so for this performance. But the free throws it's the more things change, the more they stay the same. You switch out Alana Smith after last year, come on in Natasha Howard, and the shot making in the post is improved. But yeah, she's going to need to make like 10 in a row for people not to groan when she goes to the foul line. And that's just, going to be, that's part of the Lynx fan journey so far in 2026.
It's also you play all last year with an undersized center and kind of get beat up by big teams. And then it's like, here's Natasha Howard playing center. I do think if I was looking at this team right now and what the actual big issue is, it is just teams with 6'5" and above bigs are just gonna kind of be able to body this team.
If I can read that clearly, Dustin saying Nia's first off game, especially after that fall did look tough. I'm glad she came back out there. And I thought she was still, right place defensively, but yeah, you get 2 points and no blocks from Nia, who's been just kind of a shot blocking machine a little bit. Nia Coffey is human, it turns out. And yeah, this was a tough timing for that. They really could have used the same Nia Coffey we got the last couple of games.
This is also just a game where they just desperately needed someone to do something. I mean, you looked Nia, Maya, let's just say Nia and the bench, they shoot a grand total of 12 shots. I mean, again, K-Mac got 4 seconds of rest. I'm very happy that she did because I'm sure that helped a lot. But Court plays 30 minutes, gets 19 shots off, and at times you're looking at those shots of man, she's just kind of chucking it, but at the same time, it's no one else can hit. Miles, I think, again, offensively, she's been phenomenal, but some of those threes that she passed on were a little head scratching at times. And then Howard, we just talked about, but again, until Fee or Dorka comes back, offensively, this team is just not.
It's just limited. Yeah.
It's not great.
You can stretch beyond your limits, and other times you just kind of, you hit that ceiling pretty hard. And I think that's what happened tonight. And I think this could have been, Howard, Dustin, I saw your point. 8 of 14 from twos, all of those in the lane.
Literally, he has the shot chart up. It is just a line.
It's a line. There's that 1 3 in the third quarter. She shot a 3. That must have been a shot clock thing. But yeah, and you're not going to get 70% shooting from her every night. But if a couple more of those drop, then the Lynx are, maybe that's the breakthrough that they needed when they kept getting it to 2 and 4. And first of all, if you were at the game tonight, shout out to you, because that was a very good crowd.
Awesome job by the crowd.
Sit at at 10K. I don't know what the exact number was, but
it was listed at 10,001.
10,000.
That extra guy
that really pushed it over.
That couple that bought tickets at the last second. You're the reason.
I thought the activity of the crowd was great. Kept getting into it.
Yeah.
And you could really feel the energy shift when like the fans trying to will the Lynx to take it over. I always thought that was like kind of a crock of shit before, covering sports.
Yep.
But when you're in the media area and you can't cheer or crush beers or do anything, and you're just paying attention to like the details of everything, you can see it. So shout out Lynx fans. It was fun to be in the arena tonight. And yeah, the Lynx kind of it just felt like they needed one more basket. All the time. There was Nia had another shot at a 3 that would have taken the lead 69-68, and she missed that. Obviously, you wouldn't be surprised if her shoulder was still bothering her based on that fall.
Yeah,
but
she did that was WWE-esque.
Part of it, I'm just like sometimes shots aren't going to fall, and I don't think there needs to be any kind of great overcorrection to the things that went wrong tonight. I think we saw many similar things, and a defense in Chicago that played better than any team the Lynx have played so far in 2026.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would add is like Cheryl brought it up in her press conference, which I'll be posting that stuff on X at some point in the near future here. But like the attention to detail stuff, like there was a couple times in the fourth quarter where K-Mac is like screaming to get somebody's attention, and you can tell they're just like not looking towards K-Mac, and eventually she's just kind of like, and then runs over and tells them to do something. Right. So there's just things like that where it's like those things. 2 months from now, those things are not going to be happening.
A fun microcosm of that is during player intros for this. The Lynx do the thing. Yeah. There's a local like youth basketball team, and everyone gets a Lynx basketball from a player. So it starts like everyone who's on the bench goes and gives a ball to the 7, 8, 9 kids who are lined up there. And then as the players get announced, they bring a ball out one at a time to 5 more kids. So someone didn't say something to someone else, and the whole team was over at center court giving balls to kids as Courtney's name is getting announced. And Court was just standing there like, where are my friends? And she didn't have her normal tunnel to dance through. And I'm like, that's just these people, like they're doing the ritual for the 3rd time too.
Liv gets announced second and didn't know where to go. So she was just like,
Right. They figured every kid did get a ball. So they corrected that. They got that under control.
The kids are happy.
Courtney, I hope John McClellan, the great John McClellan, our photographer, he normally does shots of starting lineups. So I'm going to check with him right now. Be like, do you have that one of Courtney just like so sad? Where are my friends? Because that kind of is just this new group of players in a nutshell.
Which again, like a month from now, that's not going to be happening. Like a month from now, people are going to know to look at K-Mac to get like whatever call they're supposed to. A month from now, like people are going to be ready for Courtney to dance through the tunnel. Still did the same dance routine, which is impressive. Like, committed to the bit.
They got to it. And it's a new person doing it. It's always been T in the past. Leah Two King, those are big shoes to fill. I think she's doing what she can so far, but we'll keep both eyes on starting lineups all year long. That is the hard hitting journalism that I know everyone's here for.
I mean, that's what I pride myself in is vibes. I think the other thing I would just add from this game is just like, I agree with you. There's nothing to like, they don't need to overcorrect. They don't need to like go make a trade tomorrow. Like everything that we just said, they still had a chance to win this game with like a minute and a half left. And if Tosh hits those free throws, K-Mac hits the technical, they're down 3 with 30 seconds left. Like,
did she miss a technical?
No, she hit the technical, but I'm just saying, like, Tosh missed the free throws, then K-Mac got a technical, technical, I think. Yeah, for the inbound fall. Yep. Like it was that close, and this is a team that we're kind of talking about, like everything that's wrong with them right now. Their defense is legit. Like it's going to be good all season. They don't turn the ball over like they've had issues with in the past.
Yeah.
I think, again, a month from now when Dorka's back, they have that gel. They're still going to be a really good team this year, which I think that's a good place to leave it at. That was positive, right?
Yeah.
Terry, thanks for coming on, man.
Always positive. Get to cover basketball for a living.
I mean, yeah, I'm there with you. It's obnoxious that we get to do this. Let's see here. Last one from Dustin. We shouldn't do anything till Fee and Dorka. Exactly. Like, just stay the course. If you joined into this late, it does get posted up on YouTube and X as soon as I end the stream. If you want to listen to it tomorrow morning, Monday the 18th, it'll be out at 7 a.m. And then I will be back. Oh gosh, when's the next game? Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. We got some time.
Goodness, we're gonna have a practice to go watch.
Practices, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I will be back on Thursday with Sarah Gamley. How do you pronounce Sarah's last name?
Oh, Gamelli, I think.
Gamelli. Your colleague. Is she with the 9?
No.
Who's the Tempo 9 person?
We have a new one actually doing this on the road, on the spot, because Chelsea just left. Chelsea Lake got a great TV gig.
Chelsea. Yep. We know Chelsea. We like Chelsea. She's delightful.
Sarah Matt is our Tempo person. So
now I have another person to add on Twitter.
We've got plenty of Tempo people to talk about.
But Sarah Gamley will be here on Thursday to talk about the Tempo game, and probably I will ask a lot of how do we get the Tempo to trade us back Masha, because that's the pressing question I have. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
She is not on Blue Sky.